Coffee brewing as the sun peeks through the haze. And birds are chirping, serenading morning's praise. Front porch creaks as dreams fade away. America's awakened to a brand new day. Old vinyl spinning a sweet old tune. Day starts dancing under a sleepy moon. Newsprint smudges on fingers of grace. America's awakened at her own steady pace. Sips of sunshine in a coffee cup. Simple moments lifting spirits up. From the mountains to the sandy shore. Morning in America, want just a little more. Neighbors waving with a friendly rise. Kids with backpacks chasing daylight skies. Eyes cooling on a windowsill so fine. America's awakened with a heart full of shine. Old vinyl spinning a sweet old tune. Day starts dancing under a sleepy moon. Newsprint smudges on fingers of grace. America's awakened at her own steady pace. Sips of sunshine in a coffee cup. Simple moments lifting spirits up. From the mountains to the sandy shore. Morning in America, want just a little more. Neighbors waving with a friendly rise. Kids with backpacks chasing daylight skies. Eyes cooling on a windowsill so fine. America's awakened with a heart full of shine. Neighbors waving with a friendly rise. Kids with backpacks chasing daylight skies. Eyes cooling on a windowsill so fine. America's awakened with a heart full of shine. Tractors rumble, fields coming alive. Big wheels turning where hopes and dreams strive. Laughter echoes down the old dirt road. America's awakened to lighten her load. America's awakened to lighten her load.
Good morning, everyone. I hope you're all doing well. I am doing fantastic this morning. It's a good morning. Ooh, Georgie Bestie was in there first. And then we have Native Pride and Joan and Jessica and Tammy. Good morning. And Shnemesis and Nancy and Karma and Tim Fox. Good morning. Good morning. I hope you're all doing well. Oh my. It has been an interesting morning. Um, I am looking for a couple things here. Well, that's it's frustrating when I have so many accounts, you know, for various social media, and it's like I gotta find this stuff, and then it gets a little bit difficult to find it. But I'll get it all. Um, there's this here, okay, that I wanted to show. What did he say about you this morning, Tim Fox? Yeah, the dummy was live about us this morning. Like, just so stupid. Like, for stuff that, like, okay, it was about Uncle Frank, and Tim has actually been to Uncle Frank's grave, and we'll get into all that. But yeah, like, they keep asking me for proof, and I'm like, Tim, Tim can tell you where to go. Good morning, Jeff. Good morning, Stacy. Um, I did want to show this before I do anything else. Oh, nope, that's the wrong. Hold on. There we go. Here we go. All right, let's listen to this. Okay, so yeah, this dummy, uh, she gave this interview saying that they were gonna resist Trump's orders, and it's oh, we serve the people in the Constitution. Yeah, you do serve the people in the Constitution, but also part of that oath is you have to obey the orders of the officers above you. No sound. You guys didn't get the sound on that? Hold on. Let me pull it back up. So I can hear it. You guys cannot. Okay. Here we go. Did you guys hear that okay? Sound is broke. She cuts out. Hmm. Hmm. Is it? No. Oh, thank you for the for the super chat. Thank you.
I like money.
Thank you so much, Melinda. I do appreciate it. Little birthday cake. I had my birthday. It was just like a week ago. Actually, a little bit over, but yeah, you can read what she had to say. No, I don't know what's going on with it because like I've done everything I can with the sound. Actually, let me see. So yeah, that's what. So that's what she's stating is that they're not gonna listen to Donald Trump. They have a duty to the people and the Constitution. Um, Yeah, you're being sent in to stop rioting and to protect property, and that is perfectly legal. The question is, will they be doing any law enforcement capacity? Well, for Trump to do that, he has to invoke the Insurrection Act. He said he would do that. I don't know if he's going to do that. He has not done that, and the legality of that that'll be debated. But as of right now, he's not doing that. And if you notice, at least in LA, they put a curfew. The mayor put a curfew, and it's like, okay, he's dragging these other politicians kicking and screaming to bring law and order. And there's a lot of things that they have at their disposal that they could be doing that they're just not doing. But there was that one, and then there was this one. Maybe I can find it. I know Libs of TikTok had it. Let me look. This guy, like this guy was an officer, definitely knows better. Um, I'm just going through. Okay, I do know she tweeted it out. Excuse me. Sorry, guys. Where is his stuff? I could probably find it faster through someone else's feed, but I do know she had it, so it will come up here. She just tweets a lot, is all it is. But she's a good account. I do enjoy her account. She gets a lot of funny stuff. Oh, okay. Uh huh. Police chief said they were overwhelmed. I've been watching live stream media and mainstream news not telling the full story. Yeah, I did see the LA police chief, him talking. They weren't getting enough support. So that's the good thing about the National Guard and the military getting there. They're going to be able to establish perimeters and protect property. So then the police can then focus on more of a law enforcement role. That's normally how these things go. Here it is. Okay, here we go. So this was another guy. So Benny at Learned Politics said, I will hunt down every J6 and ICE agent again. And this was Benjamin France, aka Benny. He made this comment, and he's a Navy JAG officer. There he is right there. It's like, oh dude, you are so done. Like, dude, your career is smoked. Like, you dummy. You absolute dummy. You're done. Dunzo. Yeah, just so funny of these absolute idiots. It's like, why would you do that? You moron. I'm downloading a couple things here that I will need for later on in the show. There we go. I thought the military, you weren't allowed to actively engage in politics. Exactly. You're not. But yet, like, the best thing I can say for Benny, though, is he was doing it on a private account that didn't automatically identify him as a military member. Whereas the one chick in her uniform, she's just a fucking idiot. And if she is if she's been separated, and she put her uniform on, did that, it's like, you fucking moron. They're gonna bring you back on to act. They're gonna recall you and then court martial you. You dipshit. They can do that. It's all paid instigators. Yeah, it is. Well, there are people who will say about illegal aliens, they'll say, well, they don't have any constitutional rights. No, they do. Their constitutional rights are not the full constitutional rights. For instance, when all these people saying, well, they're not getting due process, they are getting due process. They get to go in front of a judge. They get to have a lawyer. They get to bring witnesses. They get to confront their accuser. What they don't get is they don't get a right to a trial by jury. So they go in front of an immigration judge. That's their due process. That's their thing. All of these people who are being deported have had that right. They've either done it or they didn't invoke that right. And yeah, these people are like, oh, they're deporting American citizens. No. What they're talking about there is they're talking about children, where the mother's being deported, and the mother, instead of opting to leave the children here in the United States, she's opting to take the children with her. That is not that they are not being deported. Those children are free to live in the United States. Their mom's not going to be here. So there's a lot of people saying, the moment they say they're not getting due process, you can tell right then and there it's someone who's not serious and not really understanding of the law. So yeah, that's a lot of the stuff that's happening out there. But these dummies, oh yeah, like, oh, you are so fucking stupid. Exactly, they don't get due process in Mexico. Yeah, and like, I did post a thing that said, "Do you ever notice the people who seem to love Mexico the most are the ones who refuse to live in it?" um, uh, I'll get into all that in a little bit later in the show, Tim. Just FYI. Don't know if you have to go and if you can't come back, but I will be getting into all of that. There's just so much stuff to get into this morning. Administrative hearings as to immigration, not the due process of a criminal justice. Yeah, well, because again, And they're the first ones to point this out that crossing the border, at least the first time, is not a criminal charge. It's not a criminal offense. So that's why they get administrative hearings instead of a trial by jury. Uh, and that's to their benefit, because if you want a criminal, if you want us to make that a criminal offense, okay, but a lot of these people are going to be thrown in jail. They'll never be able to work, a decent job again, especially here in the U.S. And they're going to be stigmatized. But it's a civil, so that's why they don't have a right to a jury. In a Yeah, like in that process, you don't get a right to a jury. Only thing they do not get, but they get all of their other Fourth Amendment rights, Fifth Amendment rights. They have all that. It's just a modification of the Sixth Amendment rights that they. And again, this has been well established in both our law and case law. People have challenged this in the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court has said, no, this is absolutely applicable. So there you go. But yeah, like anyone saying that they don't get due process, they're just not a serious person. They're not looking at this issue seriously. And, is what it is. It's funny. Uh, oh, Eric Miller asked, he was trying to infer yesterday that Juan, our producer, is on bad terms with us. Our former producer Juan. And what's funny is Juan messaged me this morning, like completely unrelated. And I just saw that message, so I was like, "Yeah, that's funny." Me and Juan and TC and Juan, we're all on good terms. At the end of the day, doing these shows, this is a business, and sometimes if things are going to interfere with the business, it's just better to say, you know what, we're just gonna do things this way from now on. So we don't do the show with Juan anymore. Not that we have any problem with Juan. He was the one who made the decision that he was going to make a step back from his network. And when he told me why, I totally understood it. And I was like, I think you're making a good choice when you decide to do anything different with the network, and you want us, we're here to support. We are 100% here to support. I found it a bit funny. There's been no mention of Clinton's immigration. Yeah, yeah, and even George W. Bush during the riots in '92, he sent the National Guard. But all these people are like, and even TC disagrees with me and says, no, they shouldn't be sending the National Guard. Oh no, they, in my opinion, they should. In fact, they should be mobilizing the National Guard in these other cities where the protests are happening, just because of the potential for violence. Because violence can spread. Anarchy spreads. Can they vote in Mexico without ID? I don't believe so. But I like to look at the good side. They are going to Mexico where they're going to have universal health care. There you go. You should be happy. They're all going to get health care. Yeah, I don't know if it's the haze or if it's any of the settings with the camera that are causing it a little bit of a Bluetooth. It could be the light bouncing off my comforter here, uh, but uh, yep, the president's doing exactly what we voted for him to do. This is what I voted for, 100%. This is. Um, all right, so I do want to get it. Did you? Okay. Did you guys know this? Did you guys know that I was convicted? I was convicted. Hold on here. Like, and Tat put this out and said I was convicted before anything else. Like, before actually like looking into any of this shit, had literally posted that I had been convicted. And so right here, there's domestic violence. It's actually a subsequent domestic violence with minor children, and it's in my divorce. And you guys know I have discussed my divorce here. I didn't for a very long time, but then when after I got attacked, I started discussing it because it was now affecting parts of my life. Sorry, I bumped my thing. So yeah, so charges on two separate days were dropped. Uh, yeah, these all stemmed from the incident where you guys have seen the video, and those aren't charges, you moron. Those are requests for restraining orders. One by her against me, one by me against her. Jesus, you really suck at research. Your first hint should be that you're looking at a civil court hearing, not a criminal court. So yeah, the do your research crew sucks at research. Sucks at research. And I've already made some predictions about these guys that they're not going to stop on this. Uh, yeah, they're not going to stop on this, and they're going to keep because like we've already talked about, they want to talk about my divorce. Guaranteed, they want to discuss my divorce. Um, but as you can see here, they are completely and totally retards. Like, why would you ever? Why would anybody ever listen to anything DJ Radis says? Like DJ Radis, he throughout this whole thing, he's been consistently wrong. He's been consistently um like he is an instigator. He's a shit stirrer. That's what he is. That's why he got involved in that. He was trying to inject himself in the Jeremy Hells case since day one. Um, and I will say this: I was charged with mutual combat assault, and those charges were dropped. And that was because my dash cam at the time didn't show replay. So the night of the attack, the cops could only take my word and their word. They said I attacked them. I said they attacked me. And so we were charged with mutual combat assault. Uh, Mine were dropped, and they were like, "Hey, this is 100% self defense." There was no way they were ever going to be able. It's a solid defense. Had they actually moved forward with the charges, we would have went to. There's a certain hearing, and I would have gotten an attorney, and the attorney would have said, "No, this is self defense hearing," and there you go. And the judge would have said, "Okay, yep, he didn't touch anybody unless they touched him first," and everything would have been tossed out. I matched the energy that everybody brought, and you can go watch the video. It's on other people's platforms. I still have legal stuff, so I cannot post it. But yeah, there are other people out there who can. Uh, you mean the charges that were dropped? Why? Because the attack on me, the attack was on the video. Now look at this fucking moron. The video is inadmissible in court. Did you forget that California is a two-party consent state? Did you tell them they were being video and audio recorded without their consent? You record an illegal wiretap. So dash cams, according to this moron, or this moron right here, DJ Radis, according to this moron, dash cams are illegal wiretapping. What an idiot. It's a good thing he went back to Australia. We don't need this level of stupidity in this country. Like how like and when I replied to him, I was like, dude, everything was in public. You can record anybody in public for anything. Like, I don't get where these people don't they think you need consent to record in public. Just because someone's charged doesn't mean they were automatically convicted. Absolutely. Absolutely. I was charged. I talked about that before, and charges were dropped because I had a video that showed I didn't do anything until people did stuff to me. Exactly, Shinemesis. I don't like violence either. Uh, I will resort to everything except violence. However, when you bring me violence, you will find violence. Yeah, Robert's stuff is coming in. Thank you, all you guys. Can we put the link to the wish list up? Robert is doing some great things, and we're going to get into some fundraisers this morning. Yes, we are. Uh, I did find it funny um, that Squid was on Spawn's show. And I've been telling people for a while, watch out for Squid. She's another shit stir. She likes to stir everything up. And she was in Spawn's show saying, "Show my DMs, show my DMs." And he sent her DMs and he eventually put them up. And it was DMs between her and Georgie. They didn't show anything bad. But because she was saying publicly, "Show my DMs," I showed her DMs. Like her DMs with me. Should we look at them? Should we look at them? Hold on here. I just got to find the right post. We'll go through them. I got no problem with that whatsoever. Oh yeah, here's. I do want to show this one. So yeah, you can't be trusted. You stand up, protect proven scammers. You hit women. You can't be trusted. I found all your court records charged with domestic violence. Yeah, charged and found guilty. This, ladies and gentlemen, is defamation. That is defamation. That's not what I was charged with. And no, I was never found guilty. Why would you ever align yourself with DJ Radis at this point? Dude is a complete and total idiot. Here I'm doing this the Bass Ackward way. Hold on. Here we go. All right. So I posted these in the fake group. So December 19th. Now remember guys, December 16th is when Spawn decided to do a full stream about me. You can go watch it yourself, still on his channel. Does a whole stream about me because I was not going to be a party to his bullshit. What happened with you and Spawn? I saw something on the hater page. He got mad at Georgie. Georgie talked to Max Lab about it. Max, blah, 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 blah. He asked me to go into a Discord voice. I told him I wasn't if he was just going to talk about Max Lab because I didn't want involved. He lied to me, and it actually was supposed to say it was about Max Lab. So, or he said it. He said it wasn't about Max Lab. So I get in there, and that's all he talked about. I told him it was stupid and to stop talking about it publicly. And then she says, so again, she asked me. She asked me. She was not involved. She asked me. Never mind. I forget. I asked. Everyone is acting like children. I'm done with this shit. I said, me too. I'm not mentioning him or anything he talks about on his lives. Same. Some in the chat are trying to stir up trouble. And that is like there were people trying to stir things up. People like Eric Miller trying to stir things up. Spawn doesn't show you the comments. He deletes the comments after his streams, but Eric Miller was in that stream trying to stir stuff up. I just he remained a mod for a month after that before I removed him. But I had taken note of those. I even had some did I have screenshots? No, I didn't have screenshots because I was at work when all this started to happen. Yeah, Georgie. This is true about Georgie. She loves everyone until they give her a reason not to. Yeah, Georgie is the most forgiving person. Like someone will do something bad against Georgie and she will make up with that person. Not me. Like you show me your true colors, I'm moving on past you. Move along. Like I want nothing else to do with you. So yeah, she's saying I'm done with all this shit. Okay. Y'all need to fix your shit. He keeps sending me paragraphs. I keep telling him to go to a therapist. I repeat, y'all need to. So what am I doing? What am I doing, Heather? What was I doing? Nothing. I stopped talking about Spawn. And I made it clear he was not going to come on the show again. And that was true for a month. um, I repeat, you all need to fix your shit. I don't know what I can do, is what I say. I'm done with all this until you figure your shit out. I owe your foundation $61 when YouTube pays me, but I'm done with all this shit. Please remove my wrench. I can when I'm on my computer. Fine. You're done? I'm done. Again, I don't want to work with people who don't want to work with me. I'm not gonna beg and plead people. I don't do that. You could tell these lovers have no life. I know where to find their proof. We're gonna get into their proof. We are. Um, so this was in January. Okay, these ones she had kind of made up to me. We weren't texting each other the way we previously were. And that was mainly because of Georgie. Georgie was like, Mike didn't do anything. And she started talking with me again. Now, this up here is all about DJ Radis. And they told me that my fundraiser was a scam. My fundraiser was not a scam. Uncle Frank was a veteran. He died. I was raising money for his family, or what I believed to be his family, because Uncle Frank told me Yoda was his nephew. Told me. We had conversations. Now people are showing things that it's a screenshot. I don't know where it came from, but it's Yoda saying that they weren't blood relatives, and a lot of people are running with that. I don't know. And honestly, I don't care. Uncle Frank told me it was his nephew. I raised money because they were bereaved. There you go. And I told people that. And the other thing I told people is the Uncle Frank fundraiser, they can do whatever they want with it. Whatever they want. So I don't know how people are saying it was a scam. Like, no, I didn't tell anyone you have to give to it. They said they were going to do things with the money that apparently they didn't do. That's on them. It's not on me. I never said the fundraiser was for this. They told me they were doing this. And I said, well, if that's what they do with it, great. Great. I think that's a noble thing. Apparently they didn't do it. Again, nothing to do with me. They had the right to do whatever they wanted with the money. I didn't even touch the money. I set it up that way. Now, here's the thing. I'm a nonprofit. I have a 501c3. So if the IRS comes to me and says, what happened with this money? We raised it. It all went directly to them. Any accounting would be on them. Any accounting would be on them. That's why I did everything through GoFundMe. And they didn't raise it. I did. So my accounting of it is it came into GoFundMe, it went out to them. Done. End of the day. I am now done with it. Now, when they create their own, like someone say Eric Miller, then it becomes different because they have their hands in the pot the whole time. Right? Well, that's exactly what they're trying to do. They're trying to do damage to us for the acts of someone else. Here's the thing: people who got involved in business stuff with Yoda and Eric, I told people I'm not getting involved in any of that. Like, no, like they were gonna do all these things, and people were coming to me. They're like, "Yeah, we're gonna." I'm like, leave me out of it. I have no interest, none whatsoever. Why? Because it just wasn't anything I had interest in. Like, I do my thing. So many people want me to get involved in their big bright ideas, and sorry, no, I do my own stuff. I do my own stuff. And I get that some people get upset. Some people want me to do this or do this with the foundation, and I don't do it because at the end of the day, I'm the one who has to deal with all the work, all the repercussions. So I act very deliberately. So I had explained that to her, and she said she left the group, and she put these things in there. This is where DJ Radis, he was just trying to trash Yoda and Eric, which, if he were trashing Yoda and Eric and that was it, I would have left it alone. But they were coming after the fundraiser. And I have text messages showing they were coming after the fundraiser. And she said, so what happened here is January 20th, that was the night Spawn did his live stream about me. Like, he did it in the morning. I went, and then this was that evening. She added me into a group chat with him. At that point, I had already blocked him. I had already I told people, to include her, I was never going to work with him. And then she puts me into a group chat with him without even asking me, without even asking him. And he'll acknowledge this too. And why would you do that? That is such a violation of people's boundaries. I blocked that dude. I blocked him. Why would you put me into a group chat? So when she's like, "Oh, Skipper violated my boundaries." No, no, no. She violated boundaries first. Why are you putting me into a group chat without even asking me? And I didn't even realize that it was her initially that did it. I thought it was another Heather, and who was also messaging me at the time about a lot of this stuff. And I actually kind of went off on that Heather a little bit. Um, but yeah, it was her. And it's like, why the fuck would you do that? And so I immediately, when I recognized, because I saw he left the chat, and I was like, what the hell? Why would you put me in a group chat with him? And then I left that same chat. Like, it was almost immediate. He left, I left. I wanted nothing to do with him. I still want nothing to do with him. Um, and she said, please do not lie about me ever again. I don't know what lie she's talking about, because maybe because he had talked about me and then I talked about that on my show. Only thing I can figure. But she was she was doing the fundraising too. Like, she was promoting the fundraiser. And we had already talked about that. If I have to show those DMs, I will. So that was the first rude one. Like, I didn't lie. Or, oh wait, no, this one was later. I'm sorry. So I was like, I'm done. Don't ever send me a screenshot of anything again. Remove my wrench. I was like, I didn't do anything. Like, what the hell? And then she said, please do not lie about me ever again. Well, the lie she's talking about here is where I did the video where I said, hey, she had talked with Bruce and she was allowing Bruce to be in her chat. And I was just drawing a comparison to Georgie, because Georgie had some messages with Bruce, but that's a big deal to Spawn Trooper. Big deal. And I was just drawing a comparison. That's not a lie. That's not a lie. And I responded, LOL. Yeah, she sends rude fucking DMs. She broke my boundaries first. She put me into a fucking group chat with someone who I had blocked. So yeah, she wants to play all innocent, and I'm sure. I do know that she's all pissed off that I posted these DMs. Well, you posted DMs first, bitch. So you don't like it? Maybe you shouldn't do it. Yep. And I know what you've been saying, people, privately. I've got screenshots on that stuff, Heather. Like, you started this. You wanted to play this game. Listen here, sunshine. Yeah. Right? Like, they want to. All I'm doing is exactly what they did.
Don't even get me fucking started. Trust me.
They wanted to start this game. And it's like, okay. And I will be getting into Robert and Kasha. They wanted to say that I've been attacking them since December. Oh, I wasn't. I did not attack you. I think what they're mad about is, I think in December they had, or in January they had said some things on Spawn's show, and I screenshotted it because it was false. Because they're big on the Uncle Frank isn't real. And he was mad at me the other day saying that I said I had a death certificate. I never said I had a death certificate. I said I had proof of his death. And I know for a fact that DJ Radis has the exact same proof, because he's posted it before. He has the exact same proof that I do. And the thing about it is, like, so don't pretend that Uncle Frank was not a real person. He was literally on the show. Everyone could see him and hear him. He was a real person. Robert keeps saying, well, I called all these funeral homes. Okay, that has nothing to do with the price in tea in China. because as everyone now knows, which the family, or who I believe to be the family, wanted to keep private, was that Uncle Frank was a Native American and was doing everything in line with his Native American religion. And they did not go to a funeral home. That's why when you called funeral homes, you didn't find anything out, you moron. And I know lots of people who don't go through funeral homes. Lots of people. That's not proof of anything. So now we're going to get into dummy this morning. Here we go.
You had all that information.
So, and I made a prediction. I had made a prediction, and we'll see if it happens. It'll be very interesting. Because I think it will. Georgie knows what the prediction is, and I do have proof of the prediction. So it'll be very funny. I gotta share audio. There we go. So this was this morning. We'll see. The one that I showed the other day, he deleted. He deleted it. Such a moron. All right. So let's listen to what he has to say.
All that information, and then suddenly you backtracked and then you twisted it. Okay, fine, that's not a problem. Right, just bear with me, all right? Native trip visit for funeral home ceremony named funeral born on native ground.
So this is part of his research into Uncle Frank. Okay. But this really isn't research. What he's doing is he's reading someone that sent him something about Native Americans. Every Native American tribe has its own customs, traditions, beliefs. So he's reading a very generic thing about Native Americans as if it applies to all of them.
Born on native ground, cremate open 1 day, up to 3 days, sunrise burial, mounds in the south, open cremation. Or part native cemetery, crossover, sending them off. Example, passing, 6 hours body on reservation, 1 day cremation. Crossing over, badge, prey, sweet grass, tail, treasuries. Yeah, so, interesting. Because if he was full native, that means he was cremated.
Not every Native American tribe cremates their people. I can't tell you for sure if he was cremated or not. I can't tell you that. I don't know. I did not need to go in that depth. It's a shame that Tim Fox left here because Tim has been to Uncle Frank's grave, and he could probably tell us. I took a page out of her book and chose the whole keep enemies closer approach and spoke to him. Here's the thing. I've always been transparent about my exactly.
I'm just speculating now. Because obviously, with all the bullshit that you come out with, who knows?
What bullshit? Like, what bullshit? You keep saying it's bullshit, but yet you guys haven't proved that it's bullshit. Like, you got people like Robert. Oh, well, I called all the funeral homes. Okay, he didn't go to a funeral home. So what do you think you have proof of? This is the type of research they do. He sat on his couch. Robert sat his fat ass on the couch and made phone calls and didn't bother to look anything up.
I saw the disgusting behavior from not just from YouTube, but other people who are...
this is not the one I want to do. I want to do this one first.
Here comes the part about the military certification and also in regards of the certification of death. You said, and I quote, I have proof of his death certificate and I have proof of his army DD214. Then it changed.
Wrong. He's already misquoting me. And he knows he's misquoting me. I never said I had a death certificate. I never said that. I actually had misstated and said I had proof of his service. Proof of service. And that's, again, how, because there is a proof of military service out there. There is a document called that. And that's what I kept calling what I had on him. And I will admit I was wrong because I'm just calling that the wrong thing. But I'll gladly come on, Skipper, and show them. I'd love to have you on, but I'm actually going to be wrapping things up in a few minutes. Tim, according to Spawn Trooper, because he looked up what Native Americans what they all Native Americans across the U.S. believe this, that Uncle Frank was cremated. I don't know if he was or not. That's the question. You could probably answer that. But that's according to Spawn Trooper. He's saying that all Native Americans are cremated. But yeah, I called it the wrong thing. That's how I know he's full of bullshit. I did have proof of his death. I didn't say death certificate. Him and Robert Ward, a Navy veteran, keep saying, and whenever I ask him to prove that I said that, what they do is they pull up the transcript that says I said proof of death. There are other ways to prove someone's death other than a death certificate. I never said death certificate. And I did have proof of his military service. Like Uncle Frank, we got a picture of him out there. Literally was on the fundraiser. Him in his military uniform. That's proof of military service. Way more proof than what we ever have of Spawn serving in the military. Here's my question to Spawn. You say you're done with this and you're walking away. What happened to you walking away? You're a lying piece of shit. Yeah, he said he would put it to bed. How many times? Okay, under the new customs of this tribe, had its chief is still cremated, the elders are buried, and then the other tribal members are buried in respect to their families. So the chief is cremated, but the elders are buried. See, every tribe has different customs. It's a totally different religion. Sometimes there's overlap, not always. I do know that there are Indians in Arizona that have underground, like they bury their dead in caves, or at least their leaders get buried in caves, and those caves are considered sacred. Here, we actually have, I'm literally sitting less than, I'd say, a mile away from an Indian burial ground. And it's not even on the reservation. There are 3 different locations for the tribes. The chief is still unknown areas. Okay, so they keep where the chief is buried secret. Okay, and see, that makes sense.
You said, and I quote, I have proof of his death certificate and I have proof of his army certificate.
I never said I had a death certificate. Never said that.
DD214. Then it changed.
Did not change.
Right? That you
I never said I had his DD-214. A DD-214 is a very specific document. What I said is I have proof of his military. I said I had his statement of service, and I was actually wrong. What I have is proof of military service. That's that document, and anyone can go to the National Archives and request that on Uncle Frank. In fact, if you're looking to and you need his name, I will give you his full name.
You had proof of his death and proof of his service.
Yeah, that's right there.
Proof of death. Right. Oh, here it is. Right, oh crap, yeah, all right, this is going to be fucking hard to explain. Right, okay. So, you say that you...
Yeah, he doesn't want to get into it because it shows me right. Yes, anyone Tim has seen the grave with his own eyes. You can, and this was his buddy Robert was coming after me, say, oh, I want proof, I want proof. I'm like, here you go. We tagged in Tim Fox yesterday. Guess what? When Tim got in the chat, Robert didn't want anything to do with Tim and just started mouthing off. They don't want proof. They just want to attack.
I saw the disgusting behavior from not just from YouTube, but other people who have jumped on the bandwagon. I don't see anyone from here doing the same thing at all.
Really? You don't see DJ Radis? You don't see DJ Radis accusing me of having convictions? Me being a convicted felon? You don't see DJ Radis doing that? Really? That's your buddy. You've had him on your show. That's your buddy. I also laughed that Daniel posted his link yesterday, and he got really mad at Daniel for posting his link because Spawn Trooper doesn't like to promote other people. He said, you can post that later, but you need to ask. What do you care if he posts his link? Oh, because he's very protective. He's using Daniel. He's using Daniel.
Maybe me and myself, Rats probably, because like the thing is, we're grown ass men. We've got spines. There's a big issue. there's a big issue with your context and with your narrative. Quite a big issue, right? Because I did some research.
Oh, more research.
Excuse me a second.
The geniuses of research have done research.
I did some research. September the 19th, right? One minute it was Yoda, then Uncle Frank turned up.
No one
September
cares.
the 22nd, 2024. It was on Yoda.
No one
September
cares.
28th, 2024.
They were in my chat.
Someone mentioned
Ooh,
something about service and struggle for I can't
great
remember.
research.
I'm
Great
sorry.
research.
And then obviously Yoda was there. And then basically Yoda said hello from Uncle Frank by Yoda.
Okay.
And it was quite interesting because I've posted the screenshots from that. 2nd of October 2024, Yoda. And then that was the first time I've ever seen the name The Wilburns.
Okay. I've been talking to Georgie and if I have to show it, I will. Me and Georgie had been talking for years.
So I don't think I was around at that time.
Yeah, you were.
Or was I? Who knows? No, I was before that. Yeah. All right. And then at 50 minutes into that stream, go and listen to Mike's comment.
Go and listen.
On the 4th of October 2024, Yoda, 27 minutes in, a link was put up. Not to a GoFundMe or to a Gift and Go, but to a link of PayPal, to PayPal. There was no Gift and Go. There was no GoFundMe, which are legal platforms where you can put fundraisers up. But instead, MaxLab posted PayPal link.
Again, MaxLab posted it. I've got mods. They post stuff.
And yeah, quite interesting. I've got the transcript of what was said and all that. All right. 5 October 2024. Uncle Frank was in the stream, but no Yoda. All right. Mike plugged Uncle Frank's fundraiser.
Yeah, he lost.
Right. And then MaxLab posted a link to the PayPal again. Again, no GoFundMe, no Gift and Go, nothing. It was a PayPal link.
Okay.
Now, only a few days ago, you are putting an emphasis on embezzlement and fraud. And this is not an accusation. This is speculation, and that's it. If you are plugging,
oh my God, this guy's an idiot.
Just out of fucking, just for the sake of plugging a fundraiser for someone. People need to do their research. Because me sitting here and saying this, it just sounds like a tit for tat. It just
it is a tit for tat. It is a tit for tat. Okay, so here's the thing. At no point did I say this was my fundraiser. At no point. Uncle Frank lost his home, and he was doing a fundraiser to get a new trailer. And MaxLab said, "Can I put the link in?" I go, "I don't care. Put the link in." But I never said this was my fundraiser. Never said that. I did say, "Hey, Uncle Frank lost his home. If people want to give money, you can give money. Here's they're going to post the link." At no point was that my fundraiser. However, you did. Eric started his fundraiser for a cart. You did a full stream about it because you wanted to have a way to come at me. You were saying, "Oh, we're going to raise him this money." Do I have to pull that? Do I have to pull that reel up? I will. And here's the thing. I have a 501c3. I'm a nonprofit. You are not a nonprofit. Go look at the YouTube terms of service. You cannot dedicate a stream towards raising money unless you are that type of an organization. You were doing this as a tit for tat, you moron. And guess what? Have you seen the accounting on it? You endorsed it as yours. You've told people, "Oh, I raised that money for Eric," and you really didn't. Snowflower just pretty much paid for it. Yeah. Do you have? Are you a 501c3? No, you're not. So you broke YouTube terms of service. The other thing is he's writing to YouTube about me, trying to get this channel taken down. He's already talked about it. Yeah, the only one who's broken YouTube terms of service. You. So there we go. I said I would. Those were his things from tomorrow. it'll be interesting to see if these morons pick up on any more of, if they're doing any more research, because he keeps saying, "Oh, I did research," and all his research is the screenshots that me and Georgie have put up. But again, Squid said we could put up the DMs. She said publicly, post it. She said that in Spawn's chat yesterday, so I posted it. I don't think she's happy today. I don't think she's happy. But again, you want this, you get this. You guys keep, everyone's like, you need to stop. I am not stopping. I'm making money off this. Like, this is easy content for me. This was an easy show. So there's no incentive for me to stop. So I gotta start ending this. I thank you guys all for being here. Who should we redirect to? Let's do a redirect. I like doing good things for good people. Is there anyone out there? I was so glad we could do the actually, Squid hates uncivil law. She hates him. So let's redirect to uncivil law. So when this ends, you guys are going to go to uncivil law. But yeah, these dummies, it's like, okay, you want to keep showing people's DMs? We'll keep showing, like, and they act like, oh, they're showing private DMs. DJ Redis, he rushes to show people's DMs. He rushes to show. What he doesn't know is there are people in their camp who have been sending us stuff the whole time. Like, we've got stuff from their Discords where they've showed DMs there. We've got stuff from their personal DMs where they've been sharing stuff. We know. We don't even have to do research. Their people bring it right to us. Yep, monetize the haters. That's what I'm doing. So there we go, folks. I'm going to get going. Thank you so much for being here. We'll see what DMs or what gets shared today. Maybe they'll talk more about my divorce today. That'll be interesting because, she's itching to do that. Yeah, she was hinting at that. You do you, boo. You do you. I don't think it's going to work out the way you want. It's already not, but you do you. All right. Thank you guys for being here. As always, thank you for being worth serving.
Coffee brewing as the sun peeks through the haze. Birds are chirping, serenading morning's praise. Front porch creaks as dreams fade away. America's awaking to a brand new day. Old vinyl spinning a sweet old tune. Day starts dancing under a sleeping moon. Newsprint smudges on fingers of grace. America's awaking at her own steady pace. Sips of sunshine in a coffee cup. Simple moments lifting spirits up. From the mountains to the sandy shore. Morning in America, want just a little more. Neighbors waving with a friendly rise. Kids with backpacks chasing daylight skies. Eyes cooling on a windowsill so fine. America's awaking with a heart full of shine. Old vinyl spinning a sweet old tune. Day starts dancing under a sleeping moon. Newsprint smudges on fingers of grace. America's awaking at her own steady pace. Sips of sunshine in a coffee cup. Simple moments lifting spirits up. From the mountains to the sandy shore. Morning in America, want just a little more. Neighbors waving with a friendly rise. Kids with backpacks chasing daylight skies. Eyes cooling on a windowsill so fine. America's awaking with a heart full of shine. Neighbors waving with a friendly rise. Kids with backpacks chasing daylight skies. Eyes cooling on a windowsill themselves so fine. America's awakened with a heart full of shine. Tractors rumble, fields coming alive. Big wheels turning where hopes and dreams strive. Laughter echoes down the old dirt road. America's awakened to lighten her load. America's awakened to lighten her load.